Hi, how are you today? So, today is the last day of Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year. So, as we say here, Happy Chap Go Me, Happy Chap Go Me. All right. So day 15th of Chinese New Year. So let's say who's online today. I don't know. Is it just me or is it? It's just hot. It's hot, isn't it? Right. These few past weeks, or is it a month? It's just hot, isn't it? It's just hot, right? It's just hot. And hi Agnes, how are you? So today, what was my topic again? Is it so scary? Is selling so scary? I think that's the topic. I can't remember. I think that's it. Interesting topic, isn't it? Right? Is selling so scary? Well, I think it's a topic that most people don't talk about, and I think that when anything has to do with selling, most people would go away. You know. I think we live in a world. Hi, Cicely. I think we live in a world where we like to buy, right? But we don't like to sell. We like to buy, isn't it? But I think that as for personal development, and you know, I'm always very interested in personal development, about leadership. So when it comes to personal development, I think selling is a very, very important topic. Okay, and I say this not just because I do New Skin, and you know, and of course, if you wanted to, yes, you can also join, right? But I think that I think a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about selling, right? About selling. I think if you go ahead and ask anybody, let's say 10 or 100 people, if they like selling, I would have to say that maybe 70% or maybe 80% would say no, I don't like selling. I don't like selling. Is that true? Is that true? I mean, when you were first introduced, or when somebody was asking you to do something that requires you to sell something, did you say, cool, I want to sell something? Or did you say, oh no, I don't like to sell, you know, please stay away from me, right? Hi, Kat, Christine. But I think that that's a missed opportunity. So if you're still listening and you're still on board, then great, you know, then you know, you can learn something. And but I know most people would, you know, at the sight and at the word of selling, they will just disappear and go. But nonetheless, I want to share this because I think that it's a great learning experience. Yeah, it's an experience because, frankly speaking, I was the same way. So I looked at selling. I was working in Motorola as an engineer. I was a mechanical engineer, and you know, just right out of work, first thing is find a job and go work. My first job was Motorola. My last job was Motorola. All right, so I love it. I liked the job. I like engineering. So fun. So when somebody asks me to sell or to do a business requires selling, it would be like, no, I'm a professional, right? I have a job, right? I'm an engineer. Why would I want to do selling? So just like me, I think a lot of people have the same perception and the same kind of phobia, maybe? I don't know. Let me know. Tell me, do you have the same phobia before? You know, maybe you're in sales now, which is good, but maybe you're not. If you're not in sales, you know, what's that phobia that you feel? Hi, Ivan. How are you doing? Going to exercises? So what is that phobia, you know? And so I just want to kind of briefly talk about it and bring it up because I think it's important. Not just because I do business, I do New Skin, I sell. No, I think that it's an important skill to learn. Whether you do business or not, whether you sell anything or not, I think that being able to sell is really, really very important. If I was working in Motorola as an engineering manager, I would still encourage my team to learn how to sell, right? And so a lot of people may think selling is always about product. Oh, sell what? Sell something, you know, all that kind of stuff. But you know, so I've written down a few things here, you know. So some of the most common things that people would say is, you know, to me especially, you know, they say, oh, you know, I can't sell. Oh, I can't sell, you know, right? Common. How about you? I can't sell. Hi, Wendy. And some people will say, I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to talk. Their idea about selling is you got to talk a lot. I don't know how to talk. So if you don't know how to talk, you can't sell, right? So that's it. And some people say, they're not the type. They're not the type. They're not the type. I'm not the type. I'm not the salesman type. And so these are the common kind of beliefs that people have. And frankly speaking, I had all of them. I had all of them myself, right? So here I'm going to talk about 3 things that hopefully can give you a different perspective about selling, okay? And there are a lot more, but these are the 3 I just thought about, just 10 minutes ago. So the first one is the fear about selling and the phobia about selling. And what I'm trying to tell you is, number 1, we do it all the time. We do it all the time. We're like, and when I say that, and I don't mean to purposely, point at you and say, you're doing it like you're a hypocrite or like that. No, I'm just saying. So for example, right, let me give you an example. So at work, right? So when I was working and I was reporting to my boss, right? So when it comes to maybe reviews, I'm absolutely selling myself, right? Like, oh yeah, I did this project, and I created how much sales. So I'm really selling my services and the results I created last year or whatever to my boss and say, hey, that's why I deserve a higher raise, right? So I sell at work. I sell the very first day I got to work at the interview, right? Oh yes, I can do this. Oh, I do that. Yeah, I'm very fluent in this. Yes, I can do that. I present this. Oh, I've done this so far. So I am selling, right? So we do it. And for example, as I was, trying to court Casey when I was in school, right? So I was trying to sell her that I'm the best man for her. I'm the best boy for her, isn't it, right? So I'm selling too, right? So I'm selling myself. My looks, my humor, my fun, my jokes, I'm selling it to her so that hopefully she will go out with me, right? So I'm selling. I have kids, right? So I need to sell to my kids to listen to me, right? Because they have to tidy their floor, they got to tidy their room, they got to go to bed early. So I'm selling myself to them that they have to do what they do, right? So and last one, the things that we normally do every day, like you go to a restaurant and you are going to order food, right? The waiter comes to you, right? So let me ask you, do you want good service or just lousy service? Of course you want good service. So if you want good service, you probably have to at least treat the waiter nice, right? And you gotta like smile, right? And you gotta probably give him reasons why he should treat you well. I mean, you definitely want to treat a waiter well, right? You don't know what they do, right? So you are selling yourself to the waiter to serve you more, serve you better. Right? So we do it all the time. So whether or not you don't like to do it or you're afraid to do it or whatever, it's not the point because we're doing it anyway. We're doing it anyway, right? So that's number 1. We're doing it anyway. Right? Number 2. So a lot of people, why do they have that perception about selling and that selling is scary? Well, the reason why it's a perception. Let me give you an example. Let's say if you saw a salesperson try to sell to a customer in a very hard way, like hard selling, oh, you gotta get this, why don't you get it? Oh, and then, and you feel a bit uncomfortable, and you look at that salesperson treating that customer, you say, oh my God, well, I better go, man, I don't like that kind of service. Well, if it was me, I would have left as well. So sometimes it's perception. We see how other people treat other people, and we think that in order to do sales, we have to act like that person. So that's one of the reasons why we say, oh no, I can't do it. Oh, I don't like to do it. Well, because we think that sales is like that. We think that in order to sell something, we have to be hard selling. We have to, be exaggerating. We gotta, use flowery words and all that kind of stuff. Well, not really. That's old fashioned already. Okay. Let me give you a question, okay? Let me ask you, have you ever bought something from somebody, a salesperson, a car or a house or something? Have you ever bought anything from that salesperson? After you bought it, you said, that's a pretty good guy. Man, that's a good guy. He gave really good stuff. He gave me all the information. He was very professional. He didn't push me. He was very nice. He was very kind, and he was very considerate. Man, you want to buy a house? You want to buy anything? You got to see this guy. His name is John. He's awesome, and he's gonna give you the best professional service, right? If somebody sold you something and he gave you the best service, wouldn't you recommend that person to that person? Would you? Of course. So there are people who sell in such a way that you feel good, right? You feel good. You say, yeah, I like that guy. He's cool, man. He's a good friend. Well, guess what? You can do this too. We can do this too. The selling doesn't mean hard selling, forceful selling. It can be a really cool experience. I mean, I think we have a really cool experiences more than bad ones, right? But it is the bad ones that spread around that makes us feel, oh my God, you got to do this, you have to do things like that, right? So, and that's the basis of business, because business people, doing business definitely want to treat you well so that you come back again as a customer so that they can sell you more things. It wouldn't be nice if you go to McDonald's only once because the person treat you badly and you're never going to go again, isn't it? And so that perception is kind of false, that there are good people, there are good salespeople, there are people who are professional. Yes, there are bad people, and sometimes they hurt us, cheat us, or say all those sorts of things for us to buy. But my point is, let's not let one or two or three or four of these people leave a bad name for the industry of selling, because like I'm sure you agree, there are good people out there. There are good people who treat you well and sell, and that's the basis of my business. I've been doing this for 18, 19 years. I mean, I have customers who since day one still continue to buy. I must be doing something well. I must be giving them good service, or else they wouldn't, right? They would like go away, isn't it? So there are, and for me to be in this business so long, I think it proves that, there is a certain level of professionalism that we need to put. If you're running a business, you definitely need to. I mean, and even if you were just working for a company, let's say if I was working for Motorola, I would definitely have to treat whoever that comes in the door as a customer with the best courteous and the best behavior, isn't it? Because I want that person to leave and thinking, wow, Motorola is a good company. So, hey, I'm selling again my image, my presentation, my standards, my quality to a customer, right? So, again, we're selling, but we don't have to do things which bad people do, all right? So, if you've had any experience that bad people have done, well, just know that if you were doing sales, you don't have to do what they do, all right? You don't have to do what they do. You can be professional, and that should be the way of doing things, all right? Okay, so that was the second point. So the perspective. Number three is, so let's say if I came to you and I said, hey, do you want to do business? I think I would say that 60-70% of you would say, yeah, well, okay, that's good business. Business, well, what kind of business, isn't it, right? Business. So most people would say yes to business. Yeah, business is good, because you've seen successful people, and Bill Gates is a businessman. Tesla, Elon Musk is a businessman. There are many successful people. So everybody wants to do business. But when it comes to selling, do you want to do business? Yes, but you want to sell? No, I don't want to sell. So people, kind of put business and selling like two different things. Well, frankly, if you have a business, you have to sell something in order to make money for the business to survive. I mean, don't you think Elon Musk sells? I'm telling you, Elon Musk sells every minute, every second he's with people. He's presenting billion-dollar companies, billions and billions. He's presenting Tesla, SpaceX, his Boring Company, his Starlink, Hyperloop. He's selling everything. So for those people, whoever is here today, if you say yes to business but no to selling, well, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. It has to be both, right? So those are my 3 points. Hopefully that it kind of gives you some perspective. That we do it every day. Number 1, we do it every day. Number 2, we don't have to do what the bad examples have done, right? So if there's a bad example out there that you've seen that gave you a bad experience, guess what? You don't have to do that, right? And please don't do that, right? And number 3, if you have a a goal to do business or to, you know, earn extra income, where be it either a business or your work, then, you know, then work and business, the same thing. You still have to sell. You have to sell yourself, sell your services. You have to sell something to somebody so that you can make some profit. Well, that wouldn't be a business, all right? I'm not sure who's still on, but I hope that kind of makes sense, and it helps answer your questions. If you had any fear about selling, and you know, and if you have listened to this point up to here, you know, then I hope that I've given you some insight as to what selling is and what selling isn't. All right. Again, I'm coming from a person who was an employee for, you know, 13 years, who came out to do network marketing. And yes, it involves selling, not just selling the product, but really most of the time selling your professionalism, yourself, your image, your, you know, your knowledge, your expertise and service, which is, you know, a lot of people just think that selling is just about a product. It's way more than that. For example, if you go for an interview, what are you really selling? You know, I mean, are you selling your resume? You're really selling yourself. You know, if your communication skills, how you look, are you tidy? I'm not very tidy today. Are you tidy? Can you speak well? Do you have insufficient education and experience to do the job? You're selling all that anyway. So I hope that you, after listening to this, you are not afraid of selling anymore. And although you may not have done it before, or maybe you don't know how to do it, I can tell you that already you do it every day. Every single day, everything that you do is about selling. Yeah. And that, you know, if you have some fears about it, I repeat again, you know, it was always about somebody else who did it to somebody else. Frankly speaking, you don't have to do it that way. There's always professional ways to do selling. And you've always liked a person who sold you something, that person really treated you very well. Then there must be a way to do it. And number 3, if you are going to pursue something in business, or whether you're going to get a promotion in your work, you still have to sell anyway, right? So it is a prerequisite. And the reason why I want to talk about this topic again is because I would like that when you look at selling from a different perspective, it will allow you to broaden your horizon. It will allow you to see things in a different perspective. In your work, if you're an employee, or as a business, if you're struggling to build your business, or if you're thinking to do something that you've never done before, and that selling is part about it, then I hope this sharing helps you see things differently. Because you know, the world, you know, again, you know, turns because there is economy, and economy is business, and business is about selling, and selling is about servicing people, transferring a certain product or service or information to somebody, and they exchange it for a certain amount of money that they're willing to pay for, and that you make a certain profit out of it. And that's business, okay? So there's nothing much to it other than that, all right? And everything that we do today, it's all about selling anyway. So it's, you know, so you shouldn't feel any phobia or fear about selling. And you know, so let me tell you a story. You know, one time, you know, Jay was said when she was 5, she said, "I want to be an engineer." I said, "Okay, good. You know, 5 want to be engineers. Why not? Both parents are engineers. She wants to be engineers. Good." But when she was 7 years old, she said, Daddy, I want to put a table outside the house." I said, "Why? Why you want to put a table outside the house?" "Oh, because I want to sell new skin products." Now, I was proud. I was like, "Wow, cool. You want to sell?" And even at a young age of 7, they are being exposed to, you know, the right ways of doing things, and that, you know, they see the parents doing sales or building the business, and they are, you know, automatically seeing it as a way to survive, a way to make money, a way a living, right? So so, you know, kids can see it too, right? So it's not just adults who have that. Maybe adults is because we have gone through so much, conditioned so much, that we are so afraid, you know, of being ridiculed, laughed at, and being rejected at, you know. But I hope that this sharing helps. You know, it's a bit long, I know, but I think it's an important topic. If you know anybody who has certain perceptions about selling, maybe this video will help them. You can share this with them or tag them here, and hopefully they can see it in a new light. And again, selling is very, very important. Even as leaders, even if you are a leader, you are going to do a tremendous amount of selling in your career or in your journey of success. Every leader sells. They sell a vision, they sell themselves, they sell their responsibility, they sell their honesty, they sell. All right, so get used to it. And the more you get used to it, the more you apply it, the more successful you will be. Guaranteed. And yeah, so that's my sharing today. I hope it makes sense. And if you have any questions, do give me a shout out. And yeah, I love to hear from you. All right, so let me know if this story makes sense, and if you liked it, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Of course, it's not YouTube, but give me a thumbs up anyway if you thought that it was good. All right, have a fantastic weekend, and happy Chap Gourmet, happy Chinese New Year, and I'll see you in a couple of days. All right, take care now. Hi OJ, how are you? Hi Mi Xian. Hi Felicia. Hi Dr. Tu. Yeah, it's a long one today. It's all about selling, so I hope you enjoy it. Take care.